What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to launch a product in less than 90 days. Guys, when we first started our business, we started in August of 2018. That was when we made the decision of we're going to do this. And I think that's the month/year that we set up our LLC. So we were invested, we're making this happen. We did not launch our first product until July of 2019. 11 months to make our first product, guys. And our first product was not very complicated. Obviously, you guys know that. Let's be honest. We just dragged our feet. We didn't really get down, get dedicated, and get it off the ground as fast as probably we should have, because honestly, we kind of treated it as a hobby. This is going to be a fun little side hobby. If it makes a couple $100, cool. And then we realized, oh my gosh, we make almost $2 million a year doing this. So if we would have known that from the beginning, which now I know now, and I'm trying to preach to you guys, we would have taken this way more seriously and probably made a lot more money. So hopefully you guys don't make that same mistake. But here's what's embarrassing. It took us 11 months to launch our first product. Guys, it took us 2 years to launch our second product line. We personally are not the best at again, being super diligent about getting new products launched. Now, I'm not casting any blame at all. A lot of this blame falls on me too, but I'm just telling you guys, we are not perfect. I am not perfect. I'm not a perfect business owner, but I do recognize when we do things the way we probably shouldn't be doing them. So that's what I'm passing on to you guys today. So we're going to talk about how to launch a product in less than 90 days. Okay. Because I don't want you guys to waste time like we do. And I want you guys to maximize money, right? Speed is the thing, guys. Speed is the name of the game when it comes to business. So we're going to talk about the 7 steps to launch a product in less than 90 days. Now, this strategy may be a little bit different than maybe the ideal strategy of launching a product. So I want to make this clarification before we dive into this. I'm not suggesting that you should absolutely launch a product in less than 90 days. For some people, this strategy makes a lot of sense, and I might recommend it to you. But for other people, different ambitions, different budgets, different ideas, different products, the less than 90 days thing is just not realistic for you. So again, I want to make that real clear that I'm not saying you need to be launching in less than 90 days, but for a lot of you, this makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about how to get this done. Step 1, find the product. I would say, guys, on average, based on just students, right? Students in my program, students that I've coached hundreds of students now over the past 4 or 5 years. It probably takes on average a lot of students of mine 2 to 3 months to find their product idea. 2 to 3 months. The reality is you can get this done in 3 days. From the moment you say, I'm going to sell a product on Amazon to I know exactly the product I'm going to sell, 3 days. Here's why it takes people 2 to 3 months. They do not set a deadline. We don't set deadlines for ourselves. It's the same reason why we took 11 months and then 2 years to launch it. We had no deadline, and we did not hold ourselves accountable to any sort of deadline. Guys, if you make a hard deadline for yourself and you say, guys, in 3 days, I know I have to know what product I'm going to sell. Let me put it this way. If you gave someone $100,000 and in 3 days, you had to go back to that person and tell them exactly the product you were going to sell on Amazon, otherwise they kept your $100,000, do you think you would get that crap done? Yes, you probably would. The more extreme example, which I didn't really want to give, but let's say your child got kidnapped and the kidnapper said, you have 3 days to tell me the product you're going to sell on Amazon or your child is gone forever. You'd think you'd probably figure out the product that you're going to sell? Yeah, you would, right? Now that's again, a very extreme example, but the point being, you can get this done in 3 days. Absolutely. You just got to sit down and freaking do it. Spend a few hours, spend 3 or 4 hours. Guys, I know that people are like, well, I have jobs and I have kids. I understand that. I have kids. I have 2 little kids. They go to bed, ideally, hopefully, right? From 8 p.m., 9 p.m. till midnight or 1 in the morning, guys, you can grind for 3 days. You're not going to die. I promise. Maybe tire the next day, grab a monster, whatever, and you'll survive. But grind for 3 days and find that product. Okay. Step 2, find a factory. This is what takes people forever. Guys, with our second product line, we knew the product. We had the general development of it probably within a month. But then it took a year and 11 months, almost 2 years, to find a factory. And again, we just dragged our freaking feet. And this is pretty much all on me because I was the one who was doing the sourcing, but I was, I was doing this too, and others at the time. I think I still had my job. I'm trying to think if I still had my job at the time too. So I was just busy. We had our first kid. So I just did, and our bandanas were crushing it. So I was like, it wasn't really urgent, right? There was no sense of urgency for it. But guys, you can find a factory, legitimately find a factory that can make your product in 1 week. Give yourself a week. Set a deadline and grind. When people are like, oh, I've been searching for factories forever and I can't find a factory to make my product. I'm like, how long have you legitimately been looking for a factory? Like, well, on Monday, I went on Alibaba for 20 minutes and I just couldn't find anything. And then what? You didn't do anything for the next 7 days. Guys, we don't do as much as we think we do. We don't. I don't. We all think we work a lot harder than we actually do. And for those of us that have 9 to 5s, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we do that at our jobs too? Like whenever you have your meetings with your boss, like I remember this, guys, back when I had my corporate job, I remember when I have a meeting with my boss and it's like, okay, like let's talk about like what we're doing, what we're working on. I'd be like, oh yeah, like we're doing this and this and this and this. And I'm not saying like I was lying. Like I never lied about what I was doing, but you embellish it and you make it sound like, oh, it was so hard and I just been grinding at this, when in reality, it's like you probably worked on it for like 25 minutes, but you just make it sound like you just grinded it out for 3 weeks. Guys, we always think we do so much more than we actually do. If someone followed us around, do you know what would be really cool? This would be a really interesting study. I wish I had the money to hire someone to do this. I would hire someone to literally follow me around, but I'd make them like sit in the corner, like in the dark under this little black desk behind me. So I didn't know they were here, but I would hire this person to follow me around all day, just like my shadow, and just take notes with a timer, like a timer and a notepad, and take notes of every single thing I did. Everything. You pooped for 15 minutes. You did another poop 3 hours later for 25 minutes. You ate lunch for 13 minutes. You sat on the couch and scrolled on Instagram. Like if someone could follow me around for a week and write down every single second of every day that I spent doing stuff, it would be eye-opening to see how much time I legitimately waste when in my head, I'm like, I'm so busy and I work so hard and I just don't have any time. I bet we would be shocked. That would be really cool. I wish there was a way to kind of, maybe Apple Vision will come out with something like that, where like, obviously if you maybe wear it all day and it like tracks like what you're doing, I don't know. That'd be a pain to wear those all day. But anyways, you can get this crap done in 1 week, guys. You just have to be diligent. You just have to get online at night when the factories are online and sit there and message back and forth and get things done fast. I'm going to throw in another option, guys. Just use our sourcing team. So if you're in my Jaguar Lite or Jaguar program, we give you guys access to our full platinum sourcing plan for no extra cost. That plan we only offer to students in our higher level programs. So if you're in our high level programs, you get that access for free. We also have an option though, guys. We have a gold plan where we'll do all the sourcing, we'll do all the negotiating, we'll get things rolling back and forth, and then we'll hand it over when it's ready to rock and roll. So we're organizing the first shipment, the logistics, and then once everything's good, you've gotten your order and you're like, okay, I get this. All I got to do is message this person, tell them I need 500 units more. You're golden. We'll do all that for you. So that is a paid service that we do offer as well. So you can do that, guys, and we can get that crap done for you as quick as we possibly can. Now, obviously there's going to be some back and forth, some communication. So I'm not saying like, oh yeah, your product is going to be ready in 1 week. No, not necessarily, but we can definitely have a factory option for you, usually within a week as well. So we can get that done. Okay, step 3, guys, order a sample. Okay, so you found your factory, boom, you've conveyed all the details and everything. All right, let's get a sample ordered. How long is that going to take? Maybe 2 weeks or so. Now, let me say, I do have to clarify the 90-day launch thing. So like how to launch product in less than 90 days. For this to work, we are talking, guys, not super customized products, okay? We're not talking like custom molds and like all that. That's why I said this is not going to be a strategy that works for everyone. So if you're like super custom product, I need molds and everything, it's very much probably not going to happen in 90 days. This is more for the strategy of like, I'm going on Alibaba. I'm looking for cool product ideas. I found one. It already exists. All I really have to do is white label it. Put my branding on it, put my branding on the packaging, boom, it's ready to roll. You're not really making many changes, or if you are making changes, maybe it's like a textile product, so you don't need molds. It's just sewing differences, okay? So for that, yeah, if you're ordering a sample, they already have it. That's why I say 2 weeks, guys, because it's like, oh, I found this cool toy. Like that's what I was talking about in the last episode. Found this cool toy, I like it. Maybe you ran a pick food poll, you're good with it. Order a sample. They already have it. So they're just going to ship you the sample, get there in 7 to 10 days. So let's call it 2 weeks. Okay. So you order a sample. Sample looks good. Great. Again, we're kind of assuming like you crush the sample on the first go around, but again, we're not talking super customized products. So you probably don't have to do a whole bunch of back and forth. Sample's good. You're ready to go. You place your first order. Again, guys, we're talking about products that are pretty much already out there, at least with the factories. They may not be selling on Amazon yet. You might be the first one to sell it on Amazon, which is good, but it's already kind of there. The factories are already kind of making it. You're going to get that first order in about 6 weeks. And that's even if you're doing boat shipping. You could even get it probably within 6 weeks. I've seen products like this, like boat shipping, they'll do like time to delivery like 40 days. So production time could be a week or 2 weeks, then shipping could be 34 days. Like you're looking at maybe 6 weeks. Now, if it's air shipping, it could be a little bit faster. Okay. But we're talking 6 weeks. So guys, from the time you're like, I'm going to do this and I want to do a 90-day launch to the time like your product is like at your doorstep, legitimately, if you hustle, and again, not super customized, you could have it to your doorstep within like 9 weeks, 2 months, just over 2 months. It's sitting at your doorstep. Legitimately, like that is very possible. So what are you doing at that point, right? Product shows up, we still got to launch it, right? Product gets there, you take your product photos, you spend a week doing that. Or if you use a photo agency, you spend a week because it's going to take time. You got to ship them the product. You schedule the shoot, they do it, about a week, let's call it. The the setup of the listing, like optimizing your listing, titles, bullet points, uploading your photos, getting your PPC campaign set up, guys, that's done in 1 day. You can do that in 1 day. It's going to take a few hours. But you can get it done in 1 day. Spend a Saturday, spend an evening, take a day off, I don't know, but get it done in 1 day. Then what do, guys? You're ready to launch. Start the Vine program, start getting those reviews and promote, launch, tell people, post about it. Like 90 days, guys, you can get a product up and selling on Amazon. You don't have to spend 11 months like we did. You don't have to spend 2 years like we did. Now, again, obviously for us, we're selling customized products, customized versions of existing products. But for those of you who are like, I just want to get something off the ground. I just want to get this going. I want to get testing. You can do low minimum order quantities with products that already exist. Like just experiment. Like just try it and see, learn the process. Guys, if you go to Alibaba or AliExpress and you find products that already exist, very likely you can order like 100 units. Go order 100 units, spend $500. Just have fun with it. Get a store set up. It's $39 a month. I'm not saying you got to go through like the whole spiel of like brand registry. Like ideally nowadays, yes. And again, I'm going to keep teaching, yes, that is the way. But like for those of you that are like, I just want to like dabble in this and you're not like taking it super seriously right off the bat, that's fine. Like go learn, dabble, mess around with it. And then when you're like, okay, sweet, like this is kind of fun, this is cool, then yeah, like go do it legitimate, like get a brand registry, go customize a product, right? Do the whole thing and do it awesome. But like you can just take some baby steps in the beginning and just kind of get a feel for this. I think too many people are like, oh, it's either all or nothing. It's either I got to go spend 50 grand and get a second mortgage on my home and make my business, or I'm not doing it. Now I'm going to keep preaching again. You're going to hear me keep preaching on the podcast. Like I've said before, I think really to build a legitimate business and really be successful long-term, this is going to take a bigger budget. It's going to take 10 to 20 grand when it, maybe you could start with like 3 to 5. But I'm talking, guys, when I say that, I mean to build like a legitimate income producing business. Yes, those are the facts. But I'm not talking about that in this episode. I'm talking about like just learning the process. Yeah, with a 90-day launch and a few $1,000, likely it's not going to just overnight blow up and make you a no. This is just, it's almost like, guys, you're almost thinking about it in the way of like, you're paying for education. You're paying for the experience. Like, you know how like there'll be events and it's like, oh, I can go to this seminar. I paid to go to this business retreat, and you spend $5 grand to go to a business retreat and have people talk to you about business or to learn a skill. I went to a selling conference in Tennessee for 2 days. Like I went to an Alibaba convention. Like think about it like that. You're investing in educating yourself about something through the act of actually doing it. Like you could spend $1,000, grab the Anaconda program, and then spend another $2,000 learning by doing a 90-day launch like this and really learn a ton about the business model for $3,000. And then you decide, yeah, I'm going to really give this a go. I've learned, I made some mistakes, but I learned from those mistakes. So now when I give it a legit go, I know what to do. It baffles me that people don't do that. People go into this when I'm talking about like the $2,000 to $3,000 budget, people that start this, they start it with like all this pressure thinking like, oh, this is my make it or break it. And like, if this doesn't make me $1 million, then this is stupid. I'm never doing this again. No, like you're going about it with the complete wrong mindset, and you're investing into learning. You're investing into going through the whole process to learn. Then you decide if you want to invest more to make it a real legitimate business. So something to think about, the 90-day launch, it's possible. You can do it. You can learn a lot from it. And heck, you might even surprise yourself with a product that does really well for you. And yeah, maybe that is maybe you do go crazy and go huge. So you never know. You really never know. But one thing I do know for sure is you will learn. You will learn a ton. Success or failure, you will learn. So your investment into trying will be worth it for the education and the experience that you'll get from it. I can guarantee that. That is guaranteed. So you can invest in other things. You can invest in, I don't know, whatever else y'all are investing in, or you can invest in yourself, learn, start a business, and, you know, create the income, the life, whatever. I'm not gonna give that whole spiel that you want for yourself, right? So guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys supporting the podcast, listening. I've got more content on the way for you guys. We're excited to keep innovating, keep making our programs better and better. That's my goal. I want to have the best, absolutely the best programs in the world for you guys to help you guys be successful. So I'm always down for your feedback. That's how I get better. So give me your feedback. Give me what you're struggling with, what you need help with, even what you're having success with too, right? So I know like, oh, it's working for you guys too. So appreciate you guys sharing that with me. I'm here for you. Once again, I'm Andy. You're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.